If she shares this, understand something very clearly from the very first second. People do not open their inner world by accident. Sharing is not a habit, it is a risk. And no one risks their heart where they feel unsafe, unseen, or unsure. When a woman begins to share parts of herself that the world never gets to see, it is never casual, it is never random, and it is never meaningless. It is a silent declaration that trust has already been built, even if words have not caught up yet. Notice how sharing is not about talking too much. It is about what is being shared. Anyone can talk about the weather, about daily routines, about surface-level stories, but when she starts sharing her fears, her doubts, her disappointments, her childhood wounds, her inner conflicts, the things that shaped her and scarred her, then understand that you are no longer standing outside her emotional world. You are already inside it. A woman does not hand over her vulnerabilities to someone she sees as temporary. Vulnerability is currency, and she spends it only where she sees emotional safety. When she shares her past without glorifying it or hiding it, when she speaks about the mistakes she regrets or the lessons that hurt her, it means she trusts you enough to see her imperfect self. Women are taught very early to protect their image, to appear strong, composed, and in control. So when she drops that armor and allows you to see the mess, the confusion, the emotional bruises, it is because she believes you will not use them against her. This belief alone tells you where her heart already rests. Pay attention when she shares her dreams, not the polished dreams she can tell anyone, but the fragile ones, the dreams she is afraid to say out loud because she is scared they might never come true. When she lets you see those dreams, she is unconsciously imagining a future where you exist as a safe listener, as emotional support, as someone who understands her hopes without mocking them. A woman does not attach her dreams to someone she does not emotionally value. When she shares her daily struggles, not for sympathy but for connection, it is a sign of emotional attachment. She could carry those struggles alone. She has done it before, but choosing to share them with you means your presence gives her relief. Your listening gives her comfort. Your understanding gives her emotional grounding. And once a woman associates peace with a person, detachment becomes almost impossible. Notice how she shares her silence too. When she feels low and instead of disappearing completely, she chooses to stay emotionally connected, even quietly. That silence is not distance, it is trust. It means she believes you will understand without being explained. Emotional intimacy reaches its deepest level when words are no longer necessary. If she shares her boundaries, her likes, her dislikes, her emotional triggers, it means she is not just sharing information, she is sharing responsibility. She is telling you how to treat her heart. Women do not educate people about their emotional needs unless they care about how the connection develops. Silence is easier. Detachment is simpler. Teaching someone how not to hurt you requires emotional investment. When she shares her happiness with you first, before the world, understand the psychology behind it. Happiness seeks validation, but attachment seeks connection. If you are the first person she wants to tell good news to, it is because your reaction matters to her. Your smile matters. Your approval matters. That is emotional belonging in its purest form. Observe when she shares her fears about relationships, trust, or emotional pain. This is not weakness. This is disclosure. It is her way of saying that she does not want to repeat past wounds, and she is hoping silently that this connection will be different. A woman does not expose her emotional fears unless she sees potential safety ahead. When she shares memories that still make her emotional, memories that she rarely talks about, it means she feels emotionally held. The nervous system does not relax in unsafe environments. Sharing emotionally charged memories requires a sense of protection. Her body, her mind, her emotions are telling her that with you, she can breathe. Understand this deeply. Women connect emotionally before they connect verbally. Long before words like commitment or attachment appear, emotional sharing has already drawn invisible lines around the heart. If she is sharing her thoughts at night, her random reflections, her emotional confessions during quiet hours, it means you occupy mental space. And whoever occupies mental space repeatedly eventually occupies emotional space permanently. When she shares without fear of judgment, without over-explaining, without defending herself, it means she feels accepted. Acceptance is rare, and when someone finally finds it, they hold on to it tightly. A woman whose heart feels accepted does not wander emotionally. If she shares her inner contradictions, her confusion, her moments of not having answers, understand that she is not seeking solutions. She is seeking presence, and presence is intimacy. Presence is attachment. Presence is emotional ownership. Sharing is never just sharing. It is emotional placement. It is the subconscious act of putting one's heart somewhere safe. And once the heart chooses a place of safety, it resists relocation. So if she shares this, her vulnerability, her fears, her dreams, her silence, her joy, her emotional truth, then understand without asking, without demanding proof, without forcing clarity, her heart has already made its choice. And understand something even deeper here. Sharing is not about frequency, it is about priority. When she chooses you as the place where her emotions land first, it means her nervous system recognizes familiarity and safety. This is not logic, this is instinct. Human beings are wired to move toward emotional security, and when she repeatedly returns to the same emotional space, it is because her heart has already memorized it. Notice how she shares small details that seem insignificant to others. What made her smile for 2 seconds? What annoyed her slightly? What thought crossed her mind randomly? These are not stories meant to impress. These are fragments of daily life. And when someone gives you access to their ordinary moments, it means you are no longer entertainment. You are presence. You are woven into her emotional routine. When she shares her emotional patterns, the way she reacts, withdraws, overthinks, or needs reassurance, she is unconsciously inviting you into her inner architecture. This is not something done lightly. It is the emotional equivalent of handing someone the map to your heart, and people only give maps to those they trust, not to misuse them. Observe when she shares her vulnerability without testing you first. No dramatic setup, no emotional performance, just honesty. That honesty signals emotional comfort. She does not feel the need to guard herself around you, and emotional safety is far more powerful than attraction because attraction can fade, but safety creates attachment. If she shares her emotional growth, how she is trying to heal, improve, or change, it means she is thinking long-term. People do not discuss healing with someone they see as temporary. Healing requires continuity. It requires patience. It requires someone who might stay. Her sharing is her way of aligning her inner journey with your presence. When she shares her disappointments without blaming, without drama, it shows emotional maturity. And choosing to be emotionally mature with you means she values the connection enough to protect it. She does not want misunderstandings to poison something she emotionally cares about. Pay attention when she shares her sense of humor, especially the soft, unguarded kind. Laughter is vulnerability too. It is the sound of comfort. If she laughs freely, without self-consciousness, it means she feels emotionally at ease. Ease is intimacy's quiet language. When she shares her intuition, her gut feelings, her emotional readings of situations, she is inviting you into her inner decision-making world. This is powerful. It means your presence influences how she processes reality. And once someone becomes part of how you think, they are no longer external. If she shares when she is overwhelmed instead of isolating completely, that is emotional attachment speaking. It means even in chaos, your presence feels grounding. Even when she cannot articulate everything, she chooses not to cut the emotional thread connecting you. Understand also the timing of sharing. Late hours, quiet moments, emotional pauses. These are when defenses are low and truth rises. Sharing during these moments is not coincidence. It is emotional gravity pulling her toward the place where she feels understood. When she shares her standards, her values, what she can tolerate and what she cannot, it means she is emotionally investing. She is not just expressing preferences, she is revealing what matters to her heart. People do not reveal their emotional laws unless they care about how close someone stands to them. If she shares her emotional reactions honestly, without pretending to be unaffected, it means she trusts you with emotional impact. She allows herself to be seen as someone who can be affected. And allowing emotional impact is allowing emotional closeness. Notice when she shares concern, not control, not jealousy, but genuine emotional concern. That concern is attachment revealing itself quietly. It is care without ownership, affection without demand. And that kind of care only exists where the heart has already settled. When she shares her future worries, not plans, not promises, just worries, it means she is emotionally projecting forward. She is imagining time ahead and letting you see her uncertainty within it. That is not accidental. That is emotional inclusion. Sharing is the language of belonging. It is how the heart says, "This is where I rest," without ever saying it out loud. And the more she shares what costs her something emotionally, the more clearly it shows where her emotional loyalty already lives. Because hearts do not announce their decisions loudly. They reveal them quietly, through trust, through disclosure, through the things shared when nothing is demanded in return. So understand this clearly and without confusion. Love does not always arrive loudly, it does not always declare itself, and it does not always demand recognition. Sometimes love arrives quietly through shared truths, unguarded moments, and emotional honesty. When a woman begins to place her inner world in your presence, she is not testing, she is trusting, and trust is never given where the heart is undecided. Do not look for dramatic signs. Do not wait for perfect words. Hearts speak before mouths ever do. Sharing is the heart's first commitment, long before any label exists. And once a heart chooses where it feels safe, seen, and understood, it does not wander aimlessly anymore. It settles. Because a woman may walk away from attention, admiration, and even affection, but she does not walk away from emotional safety. And wherever her truth flows freely, wherever her vulnerability rests without fear, wherever her silence is still understood, that is where her heart already lives.